Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to take junk. Today, literal construction garbage from the remodel of the shop. And we turn it into home decor that we sell at JamieRayVintage.com and in our store in Lehi, Utah. We have some lath because we saved all of the lath that we could from the remodel at our shop.
This is all out of the ceiling in the chapel area where the showroom is.
And Zeb is going to make some crates. I have mixed up some milk paint. I actually need to get this stirred up nice and good.
I got to pull the nails out.
This is Kent. It's like a smoky blue color. And I've used 1 part milk paint to 1 part warm water. And I'm just stirring it up. It's a little runny, so I might add some more, but we'll see if it thickens up. So it's going to be exciting. Sorry, we were a little bit late. We came off the mountain last night from hunting. We got up early this morning. Well, not early. Not as early as we have been getting up because we didn't go hunting. We went hunting for thrift treasures and got tomorrow's video, the thrifting, filmed, and then Deb got this all prepped this morning, which is probably why they're not assembled yet. Do you have the squares?
Well, I like to assemble them while you guys are watching so you can see. So I'm going to do the first one so that Jamie can get going, and then I'll get some more nails out.
Are you doing them all out of lath, or did you?
Nope, I have some squares. It's at the bottom of this pile.
This morning when we woke up, I was like, I think we should make crates with a square and some lath sides, and that's all the more direction I gave Zeb. So we'll see what he came up with. Oh, you're welcome for restocking transfers. I don't know if we've sold out of any yet. But if we sell out of the restock of transfers, just know that more transfers will be coming. Friday we'll order more. But I don't think we've sold out just yet. So make sure you guys check the transfers. There have been some out of stock for a while.
Quite some time.
Yeah, but they only let us buy 12 transfers, which is not a lot. So
do you want to paint these before I assemble with the wood?
Just assemble it and I'll get it going.
You're going to paint the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm going to do anvil.
Okay. So you need to don
and then I'm going to do
safety glasses.
All right, safety first. I'm trying to use, when you're painting, try to find the can with the least amount of paint first. Because there's like duplicates over there, but we really got to clean out the paint cabinet.
Oh, it's telling me my battery's dead.
Oh, you're welcome, Marianne. Marianne was asking about my Birkenstock boots. I recently started, and I talked about this yesterday, but I recently started a Like to Know It page for Jamie Ray Vintage. And it's just my outfits with links to them in there. And then I make like a small portion of all the sales, but it also just helps me be able to share direct links to the clothing I wear or whatever. I shared a link to the giant dragon we have outside on Like to Know It. We'll see how it goes. I don't really fancy myself an influencer, but when you put yourself out on social media, sometimes people want things. And I like it when people share where they get things from, because I find a lot of really cute things from some of my
She'll be watching a reel, she'll be like, and I'll hear her over there, and all she'll say is, oh, that's cute. And I'll have no idea what she's talking about. And she's 100% talking about what the person has on.
I am. So if you don't know, I'm talking about my Birkenstock boots. We're going to England in a couple weeks, and I typically wear Birkenstock boots the entire trip. I am considering getting some Doc Marten Chelsea boots, which is the same style, in brown. But I don't know yet. I did try some on to make sure they would fit. I'm apprehensive. I feel like if I get them, I got to get them soon and wear them and just make sure they're going to be comfy. And I'll probably bring my Birkenstocks as a backup.
So I designed these to be large enough.
You know what they look like? CD crates.
I don't like CDs.
Yeah, like back in the day, they used to make crates that you put all your CDs in.
Oh, maybe.
They're going to be a little bit smaller.
So I designed these so that you can fit 2 quart jars in these ones.
Okay.
That was like what I was doing my design based around this morning.
Connie said we're coming up to Utah mid-October. Will the leaves still be beautiful? Higher up, the leaves will have dropped back to Utah, but lower in the canyon,
you might still get some.
You could also go to like some of the older neighborhoods, like in Salt Lake, like Sugar House and stuff, because they have a lot of big trees. We actually have in the older part of most towns, there's big trees. You'll see those leaves change, but high up on the mountain, we're already seeing these are really dirty.
There's brand new ones there if you want. So question for you.
What?
Oh, okay. Just making sure I did this right. Do you want it all the way down on the bottom going up, or should I do like 2 slats from the top, make it lower down? Like go down a little from the lip with 2?
I would just do the same that you did on the bottom. Can you do 3, or do you not have enough?
No, I can do 3.
Just leave me some space to paint.
Okay.
But the red that we saw last week is already waning. In some areas, it's almost completely gone. That's one of the benefits that we have had to scouting and hunting is we have seen fall color like I've never seen it before. We've literally, I shared it in stories yesterday, but we were in a grove of aspens, just sitting there being quiet. When you're hunting, it's a lot of quiet time. And the sunset was coming in sideways, and the shades of orange and yellow were just, there are no words. I tried to film it and photograph it.
Later, you described it as probably the most beautiful thing you've seen in nature.
Yeah, like we were like surrounded by it. And then also sitting there, there's like leaves falling.
It was almost falling, like there was a slight breeze and they were almost falling like snow.
And the air was really clean because it's rained yesterday. I did get some really beautiful footage of driving through the clouds. That was really fun. So.
All right, we're almost got one for you to work with.
I am a little tired of driving around in the mountains, but it has been fun.
So I don't know. I think I have enough. I'm gonna have to pull a lot of nails.
If you've not been out west with fall leaves, one of the things that makes the West unique, as soon as he gets that done, I'll start painting it. One of the things that makes the West unique is you can see the open expanse, right? Like when you're in the fall leaves, it's beautiful when you're back east, but you just see the leaves around you, or you have to look really high. When you go through like the canyons, you see this huge expanse and then these giant rocky mountains just shooting up out of the ground that are so tall that there's not leaves on the top of them, and then beautiful like granite rock outcroppings and things like that. So just like the juxtaposition of topography that's just different from anywhere else. So it's really fun.
I'm gonna have to pull that nail and shot out the side.
Terrain, beautiful, look dry on your videos. Wildfires are concerned. Not this time of year though, because we have got rain. You also have to realize what looks dry to you, we're in high desert, and a lot of it's just dead because it's starting to freeze.
Yep.
So like the sagebrush and the wildflowers and all that dry you're seeing is just seasonal change. It's not that we have had a dry summer, but that's because it's been cold, not because it's dry.
It has been very dry. Even Harrington up in Wyoming, they're much wetter mountains than us. Still go up high, like.
Can you get these two open? Oh, I need to get it.
Yeah, like actually higher than our mountains. But he's like, it's been the driest summer since I've been up here.
But yeah, we have sagebrush and stuff intertwined on the sunny side of the mountain. So you'll see like beautiful forests, and then you have sagebrush on the other side. Okay. Let me
make sure my math was mathing.
What do you mean?
Oh, before you paint that, I just want to see if I can fit a couple quarts in there.
Well, I got to get to painting. We've been live for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I haven't had any paint on.
You got all story time out.
And I also mixed up my milk paint.
All right, we won.
Last time I messed up and did a DIY paint instead of a paint with a built-in sealer. Although I think I might go ahead and throw some sealer on this. I don't know. Just to add a little bit more resist. Because it's raw wood. We'll see what happens. Painting the inside, then we'll get the outside done. Then we'll get I'm going to do this one in with a transfer, but I'm going to do some with maybe decoupage paper, maybe some stamps.
There's a bunch of paper over there, like down underneath where the cutter is.
Well, I have, okay, if you want to use more, I have some like of the printables.
Okay.
Of right there, I think. And then some, if you guys are channel members, we've got.
So these are, okay. So
are they from channel membership?
No,
or?
This is from last month's subscription.
Okay.
If you need some ideas on how to use that. These are printables from this summer.
So if you guys have heard us talk about channel membership.
Printables are different than subscription.
If you sign up for channel membership, you get 2 printables that you can print out up to 100 copies every month for the cost of channel membership, which I think is like $6.95 or something. I'm not really sure where it's at.
It's gone up in the last.
It started
year
at
or two.
$5 and then it went up from there. We did not raise it, but Facebook and YouTube did. So if you guys have not signed up for channel membership, you might consider that. Next week will be our next channel member live. I think that we will probably move channel member live to 9 a.m. next Tuesday because you may or may not have known the president and prophet of our church passed away this last week, and they're having his funeral on Tuesday, and we're going to be watching it on TV, and that's at 10. So we'll probably do channel membership from 9 to 10, so that way we can watch the funeral afterwards. We normally do them at 10. So I'm going to try to remember to make an announcement so people can plan ahead for that. Let's see. Just reading the questions. All right. One of the questions we've got a lot is why we weren't wearing hunter orange while we were hunting.
So we're using muzzle loaders, which is
they're not even like
an older style or concept of.
They're not considered rifles because they don't shoot as far, and you can only you have to put in the powder and the projectile and the primer to get it to shoot. And so because it's not rifle season, you don't have to. It's kind of like archery because they don't go as far. They try to make it a little bit more difficult because out in the West,
it's proving more difficult.
We do not have as many deer.
I had a shot yesterday that would have been a deer in the freezer, and I missed with the muzzleloader. Did not anticipate it going high like it did.
We were just driving down the road, and there were 3 bucks, and they didn't even go far when we got out of the Ranger.
I have not shot muzzleloaders a lot. Actually, before now, it's probably been 20 years since I shot a muzzleloader, and that was like a couple times just to like do it for fun. We did also have somebody ask us, like, what do you do after you like harvest an animal? We eat them. So unless we're vegan, I hope that it doesn't offend you, because if you eat meat from a factory farm, I promise you the hunting is much more humane. While it may not be something everybody can do, it definitely is a way to provide organic, free-range meat for your family. It's definitely not cheaper, though. At least for us. Zeb likes, the way Zeb likes all of his tools and things, he likes all of his accessories and accoutrements. And a lot of them are thrifted things. I can't even imagine. I've thrifted so much stuff we're using.
We buy so much stuff secondhand.
Like I thrifted my spotting scope.
All of our muzzle loaders are secondhand.
Yeah, I got them all used.
Because they were like, well, we didn't realize when we bought the tags, they were muzzle loaders, and they were going to be what, like $600 or something?
A couple of them were. Some of these modern muzzle loaders are getting pretty crazy.
Like, ain't nobody got time for that, so we bought them secondhand.
And ours aren't not modern. I just got them from someone who didn't need them anymore.
All right, I'm almost done with the base coat on this, and we'll get the milk paint.
All right, so just a nail gun. If you don't have a nail gun, or I guess this would be like a brad nail almost. These are 18 gauge nailer.
Oh, I'm supposed to be wearing safety glasses.
Yeah, don't take those off probably until we've got 6 of these made. I know it's gonna mess with your cuteness. Your eyelashes might hit them.
I got it pulled way far out.
But
well, my eyelashes aren't as intense as when I used to get fake eyelashes.
You could just get some finish nails and just traditional hammer and nail if you don't have a nail gun. Especially like we do production type stuff. Like this particular nail gun put up every single piece of shiplap in this house, which is thousands of square feet of shiplap because we do not have any drywall. Well, we have 2 walls of drywall so that we could do some big vinyl stuff.
Which reminds me, Jack put a hole in his. How did that even happen?
I don't know.
Jack's room used to be Eliza's room, and we were going to put up wallpaper, never did. And he's got a hole in it. I'm like, Jack.
Yeah, there's a hole in his wall, not just.
Boys are constantly giving you projects. All right, let me heat gun this.
I think it'll be a pretty easy fix. It's not going to require any tape or.
How do you cover the staples so you don't see them? You don't.
We don't.
This is supposed to be rustic.
You could
use putty, but I don't know why you would.
If you wanted to, but then you're
because the wood is so rustic and rough, you're going to see the putty holes. Like I'm not going to get rid of any of these nail holes from the lath that are when it was put up on the ceiling. We're just going to leave it just like that.
We want these to look like old crates. Gloria says, I hate nail guns. I love them because they make life easier.
They do.
Least,
although Gloria, I have got my fingers a couple times with nail guns, and that is probably one of the worst things ever.
I have nail gun in my hand when I'm putting up all the shiplap in the addition. I was talking to somebody the other day about like remodeling the house, and they asked questions, and I talked to them about hunting, and they're like, you know, I would have never like looked at you and like talked to you and thought, oh, that girl, she's a construction worker and a hunter. Like, that's the thing about Zeb and I feel like we don't fit basic norms because...
I mean, I look like I do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but do you look like you also like to glitter holiday ornaments?
See, there's where it goes the other way for me.
But I feel like life is short and you should do the things that you're interested in. And Zeb and I have 1,004 hobbies. We love to garden. We like to remake stuff. We like to be out in nature, hiking. We love swimming. We love traveling.
Like today, we're going back to that aspen grove. Doesn't even matter if we see any deer. Like, we're going to go watch the sunset up there.
Yeah. When we were driving yesterday, we saw on the edge of the aspen grove, there's this beautiful cliff overlooking the canyon. And we were pretty close to the edge of the cliff, too. So we know that it's not that hard to get to. So we're going to put dinner in our backpack, go try to find dinner in the woodsin, but also find that cliff and go watch the sunset. It'll be fun.
So this is just more scrap from the cabinets. I actually probably have enough of these because these were the end cuts off the side. So they're like 8 feet long times 5-6 inches. So I could make a bunch more of these if we decide that this was a fun project. But
we usually don't duplicate
and I have a ton of lath. Like, I have so much. I was thinking we could use some of that lath in the cottage.
Well, we could do bigger long ones, like centerpiece size,
Yes.
and do them shorter.
Okay, like two rows high.
Mm-hmm. Tell your love story. How did you meet and decide to get married? Do you guys want to hear that old love story?
A lot of people know it. We do have a video on it.
Yeah, if you look up on YouTube when Jamie met Zeb, I guess it starts when my niece, Caitlin's sister, was dating Zeb's brother many years ago. And she was 15, so she wasn't old enough to drive, and she wanted to go to homecoming with Ty. And so she got this brilliant idea. Well, if I get my Aunt Jamie, mind you, we're only a few years apart, to drive, I was 17 at the time, then I can go to homecoming. So she's like, Ty has an older brother. And I had just broken up with my boyfriend from the summer. I was still a little heartbroken about that. And I was like, whatever, I'll go. I don't care. And so Zeb and I met at his high school's football game. And
actually, it was at Prescott, was playing Bradshaw, and I came to the game.
Okay, that's right.
After work.
I think we went to your high school football game because you didn't ask me to homecoming.
No.
You asked me to homecoming. We decided to go to homecoming at your football. No?
No.
Okay,
it was at that Bradshaw game. That's where we met. I don't know when we decided to go to homecoming. It just kind of happened.
I think that happened. Well, I found out you didn't have a date.
Yeah.
At your homecoming.
And you were gonna help me out. I was so sad I didn't have a date.
Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna go stag.
Yeah, I was like, what if poor guy doesn't have a date? Turns out that he didn't have a date because he wanted to dance with all the girls, but I didn't know that. And so, anyways, we decided to go to homecoming. What happened homecoming?
I was late.
An hour late.
I'm never late. I am going to throw my cousin under the bus. My cousin Aaron.
He was mad that you were going with me.
Didn't really. He wasn't in a hurry to get there. He did not have a date.
And he did not care that Zeb had a date.
And he didn't care that we were meeting. You know, that was actually weird. Like, now kids go to like dinner for homecoming and everything. You just met me there.
Yep. Well, that was back in the day before they made
at
such
the
a production.
time, we lived right across from the high school. So Jamie walked over there.
I marched across. And
I was not. I was at Aaron's house getting ready. Well, I had been ready. I was ready to be. If you guys know anything about me at all, like 10 minutes early. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. Anyway, So Jamie marched over there. My mom calls my aunt's house and she's like, "Where are you at? This girl is over here waiting."
And she's so pretty.
Anyway, so we finally got
She was
together
not
at the
happy.
dance, and the dance was great.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was
a
so
lot of
much
fun.
So what I discovered at the dance was that Zeb was super popular because all those girls, because I was from another high school, gave me stink eye because he didn't go with any of them. He brought a girl from a rival high school to their homecoming, and he was so much fun. Like Zeb was a wild dancer, not a good dancer, but a wild dancer.
We were
And
all over the place.
Back in those days, I weighed about 100 pounds soaking wet, and so he like spun me around. I'm pretty sure that my feet did not hit the ground all night, and the rest is kind of history. I mean, we dated some more after that. A couple months later,
I did
we
play
became
a little
official.
hard to get right at first.
Yeah, I
she
tried to
finally
kiss you.
sent me a note. Yeah, she tried.
No,
to
you
kiss.
asked me to be your girlfriend, and I said, "We'll see," or maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, that was like a one-time deal. I was like, all right, I guess this wasn't going as good as I thought.
Yeah, and then he never asked again.
But homecoming night, she tried to kiss me, and I turned my head, and she got my cheek, and she was salty about that. Boy, was she mad.
The next date, I probably shouldn't share this, but the next date, he had this old BMW, and he's like, "Look, it does a trick." And he reaches over and he pulled the lever, and the seat falls all the way back, and then he proceeds to kiss me. And I don't know like where he got his kiss training from, but he slobbered all over. And I was
a very vigorous kisser as a teenager.
I died laughing because I thought he was kidding. And then he looked at me kind of like a deer in headlights. And I was like, "You tell me you don't really kiss girls like that." So I had to train him. It was a whole thing.
It took like 5 minutes.
You figured it out.
It took me like 5 minutes to kiss you how you wanted to be kissed.
How a girl should be kissed. Thank you.
I don't think we've ever told that part of the story. So that's all new info.
That's all new information there. But anyways, yeah. So Zeb and I started dating. We started dating in November. In December, he told me he wanted me to marry him. Mm-hmm. In February, he gave me the first ring with a little tiny chip of a diamond for Valentine's Day. And we graduated high school in 2000. We were married a year later in 2001, and our first child was born in 2002. And we've been dating for 26 years, and we've been married for 24. So there you go. That's the story. There's probably many more funny stories in there. I mean, we were teenagers. Oh, yeah. We had a good time. Zeb is very loyal. So once he makes a decision, that's how it is.
Yeah, you were pretty much stuck.
I was pretty much stuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to milk paint this now that I've given all my life secrets away.
I don't know that they were great secrets, but
sometimes it's a little hard to get all the paint on all the cracks here, but I'm not going to worry about perfect coverage. An hour late and refused to kiss. It's funny because my mom was just like how we are. We always talk to our kids about everything. So I came home and she's like, "Did he kiss you?" And I was like, "No, I tried to kiss him on the cheek and he turned the other cheek." It's because he didn't want me making the moves. He's like, So, and back in those days, there were no cell phones. Zeb and I spent the first month because
we were like emailing and instant. What was it like?
No, we used to email, but also we would spend hours on the phone.
But AOL had like that instant messenger thing by the time, but it wasn't like messaging like on your phone. It came through your email on your computer.
Zeb's mom wasn't happy that he had a steady girlfriend in high school. She was like anti-steady girlfriend, but she really liked me, so she got over it.
Yep.
And Zeb wasn't good. Like they actually moved. They actually moved.
My parents moved like a month after that down to Tucson, which is about 3-hour drive. And I was like, I'm not moving in the middle of my senior year. I was like 20-ish, 30-ish days away from being 18. I'm like, see you guys.
So Zeb actually lived on his own and supported himself his senior year of school, which also meant I supported him because I had a job that I didn't have anything I had to spend money on.
She didn't think I was doing a very good job.
I bought him clothes. I bought him food. I feel like we finished raising each other. And that's also why Zeb didn't play sports his senior, because his parents moved and weren't paying his bills anymore. He had to have enough of a job. And so he went to high school and supported himself. And so he could not And they didn't have a ton of money in those days. It was probably nice for them to have one less mouth to feed. But so Zeb had to stop playing, and he was a 3-sport varsity athlete. But that changed. I don't know that if you would have moved to Tucson, though, that you would have played sports because you would have been in a completely new school.
Yeah, I was in a little reason I was able to play 3 sports is because it was a little 3A country school.
Zeb was really good at baseball. If he had played in his senior year, he probably would have had a scholarship to at least a junior college.
All right, we got 3 of these made now.
So my kids get all their
ironically only Jack is the only kid that has been even semi-interested out of even the girls. Like none of them have wanted to play softball or t-ball or anything.
Our girls are not really sports with balls. We did soccer for Odelia. She got hit by a ball and then she was like done. And I still have the picture of her giving me the stink eye when I made her go back out on the field. She was about 4 and she had a cute little soccer bow on her hair and she turned around and went. She was not happy about that. She went in gymnastics and
Harrington actually did not do well in soccer either.
No, he did okay, but
he wanted to always have the ball and he did not always have the ball. And so that was very difficult for him.
Yeah. When did we move from California? I moved from California when I was 14.
So the way it goes for me is I was born in New Mexico, moved from New Mexico when I was 2 to Mesa, Arizona. I was there. My dad built a house, and then we moved from that house. He got a new job in California. They kept the house and rented it out while we were gone. But we were in California for kindergarten through 2nd grade. Well, most of 2nd grade. We moved back to the Mesa house because the job ended.
His parents have moved a lot.
And then we moved to Baghdad, Arizona, which is a tiny little mining town. Lived there for about 5 years. And then the Chino Valley, where we lived, and that's where I met Jamie. Prescott area is where I've lived for most of growing up since about 8.
My dad was a contractor, and that's why we lived in Calexico. And we lived in Desert Hot Springs for a while, also because he was a contractor. So same company, moved him within a few hours. And then my parents were older when they had me, and they retired in Prescott, but I was still in high school, which is why we moved to Prescott. For a while, my dad commuted a little bit back and forth, but my mom wanted me to go to high school in Prescott.
Was your Aunt Willie and Lou already living there when your parents moved up?
Yeah, my Aunt Willie lived around the corner from where we.
Yeah, that's what I could never put the pieces together, like how you guys ended up in Prescott, because your parents lived in Phoenix for a long time, and your mom and Yuma, and your mom was like from Phoenix.
Yeah, my mom just always wanted. In Arizona, Prescott is the place to retire. Like the weather's great. It's like really highly ranked for retiring. Fun fact, my dad was a housing builder and developer. We lived in a cute little tract home in California. We drove, like my mom had a brand new Cadillac that she loved. And when it was leased. And so when we moved, it just so happened that the lease coincided with moving to Arizona. So the lease was up. My dad bought a 1977 Booger Green Mercedes. He paid cash for it. He's like, we'll just drive this in the interim. And then we moved into a pre-76 double wide trailer. Now, mind you, I came from an area in California where I had never even really seen a trailer. Like, not that it was Calexico's not fancy. There just weren't trailers, at least in our neighborhood. So I just didn't understand why we're moving to a trailer. And I was very concerned about that. My dad said, oh, it's just going to be temporary. They paid cash for it.
Freshman Jamie was like, what is happening?
I was like, okay, it's just going to be temporary. No, it was my entire high school, but they did remodel it. Maybe this is where I like get my love for like making things that people would consider trash, because it was bad. Pre-76 means you can't even get conventional financing. That's how old the double wide trailer was. But my dad completely remodeled the inside, and it actually was pretty cute when he was done with it. But yeah, we actually drove that Mercedes forever. And
the second time I was ever to your house, your dad had me under there leveling out some of the jacks under his bedroom.
Well, my dad also
he put me in the crawl space, and then probably a couple months after that, the septic went out, and we completely redid the whole septic line and tank. That was only the first time we did that. I was still in high school when we did that one. But then when we were married, the new house that they bought, because the whole area.
Yeah, they finally bought a nice new house after I graduated from high school. I feel like it was a good experience for me to live there and learn that you can make any house a home.
But then we had to redo that septic too, and guess who got hired
That was a
on?
crappy situation, literally. If you don't know what a septic is, because you're a city slicker, when you don't live in the city.
I'm sure Deborah's husband was very grateful when I came around, because he was probably the go-to son-in-law for all the projects.
Yes. If you live not in the city, which we lived in the Prescott Country Club, and that's where my parents' trailer and then also their house was. So it was a nicer trailer home area. I don't know. I wouldn't consider it a trailer park because you own the land. But the septic tank is where all your poop goes to die.
I think most people know what a septic tank is.
I don't know. I didn't know what a septic tank was until I moved into the trailer.
I know you lived on city sewer your whole life.
Yeah. And it's funny because people are like, oh, you lived in California? Like they always think California is so fancy. I'm like, if you've ever been to Calexico, not fancy. But I wouldn't have traded.
Have you even told them that you're using milk paint?
Yeah, I did. I'm using milk paint. I'm
Or,
using Kent. I don't know if I can
The story time has gotten really real
all
this
the
morning.
Paint products at JamieRayVintage.com. So Anvil, Cottage Color, Kent Bespoke Milk Paint. And we have a paint question. It says, I'm planning to paint an old white chest of drawers apothecary. I'm wondering what kind of sandpaper I should use before preparing. So if it's old and it's not super shiny, just clean it and paint. Or you could just lightly sand it with some 220 or 150 with an orbital sander. Just go over it if you want to give it some tooth. But you don't really have to. It just depends on how shiny it is. Make sure it's clean. That's your best bet. And if it's any kind of shiny, then you might want to. All right, I'm trying to get this all dried up. It's not really giving me any chippy crackle. I probably should have put some more sealer on it, but I'm going to do
I think if you
wet
distress, yeah, if you distress it, you can get it.
I got a clean washcloth here. Since we've been off the mountain, I've been doing dishes or laundry and dishes. My mom is actually, so I'm wet distressing this. You guys want to see that black coming through? I'm Mohican. My mom's actually pretty good when we're not home. She will do a lot of chores. When we're home, she doesn't bother.
I'm just eyeballing this middle row. Like I did the two ends and then I just kind of like, yeah, that looks pretty good, pretty close, nice and straight.
So wet distressing and then heat gunning is giving me some chippy crackle that I'll show you in a second. So I'm forcing this to do what I want it to do because it's raw wood. Look, I'm distressing it back to the black. What's the milk paint color of the month? It is creamy, which is a light cream milk paint, and it's not yellowy. I would say it's pretty similar to plaster. Shannon says, I moved from Palm Springs, California to a small Washington town of 2,000 people. Her freshman year, it was traumatic. I called it Cow Pie High. All right, fun fact. I lived in the city. And when we moved to Prescott, one of the things that I wrote in my letters back home to Calexico.
She's failing to mention to you that she actually lived in the country club out in Dewey, which is a half hour from Prescott.
Yeah, but the high school, I was about to tell you.
That's why she was on a septic.
The high school had, when I was in my computer class, it overlooked a field with cows. So I really thought I was in the country then. I took pictures and sent them back to my friends.
Those cows are gone now. It's all houses.
Yeah, they've developed that all. Now, Zeb really did live in Chino Valley is definitely
still
cowboy country.
I love growing up out there, though. It's perfect for me. Yeah. Ride my bike to the convenience store and the movie store / video game rental.
Oh my gosh, I remember renting movies and getting Mexican food at that place right by the movie rental place.
Yeah.
How's the hunting going? So far, it's just been an armed nature hike. It is beautiful. We've had one opportunity for shooting and Zeb missed. I should have just taken. We should have all shot at the same time. One of us would have been successful.
We probably would have let Eliza tag it. You just got to shoot it, right?
Do we have sandpaper? Also, I'm supposed to be wearing these while you're shooting. All right, I'm gonna get some sandpaper. Those off.
I mean,
we're not. Maybe you should not make any more. We're not going to get them finished.
Highly unlikely. I got 2 more to do.
I've just barely got one ready to like put in the transfers.
This
on.
last is pretty, I mean, it's just like raw and like leftovers. So when you go, do you want to do them different colors or are you going all that color?
No, I only have enough for another one this color.
Here,
You could do
maybe,
it.
maybe I'll paint a couple. Oh, you
I-
only have like 20 minutes to finish that, 25 because we
I
were a
know.
little late.
Do the ends white so we can decoupage them.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we got to get to it. And I've been working and talking. But these layered paint finishes take time. But I'm almost there. I'm just going to lightly distress this. I will show it to you up front so you can see what the chippy milk paint looks like. And I'm not really worrying about the inside. I will seal that. And it does need to be sealed up. I'll tell later. It is a little wet, but can you guys see if I cover my face here? See all that? We have like shade.
Oh,
I'll cover your face.
hold on. Let me turn some extra lights on in here.
Okay. I don't know if you can see.
It's not overcast today. Yesterday, we tried to take some pictures in here after the live stream. It was like almost dark.
What are you hunting for? We are hunting for bull elk.
No,
We are
buck,
buck elk.
deer.
Sorry,
No elk at all.
not elk. We're not hunting for bull elk. We're hunting for buck deer. Sorry. We're not trophy hunters, so we don't care. It could be a spike. We just want free range meat for our family. How can I make butcher block look like driftwood? Sand it and then use our dark oil wax followed by white oil wax, and you could make that look like driftwood, but you need to sand it to open up that grain. Butcher block is usually so tight and smooth that it's hard to get that oil wax into it. You could also do like suitcase milk paint watered down on it after you sand it to open the grain, and then white oil wax on top. That would give you driftwood.
Did you paint the inside of this too?
Huh? Yeah, although I've got drips coming in sideways. I gotta fix that. Okay. Also, Caitlin dropped a link to my pants. I want to show you how cute they are. They got a tie on the waist and they're blue and white stripe. They're just like the red and white stripe that sold out, that is on back order, that I'm hopefully will come back into stock soon. And they're very comfy. Okay, so I'm going to do a stamp on the end, and then I'm going to do a transfer over it. I don't know. Let me see what we got here. I just grabbed a whole stack of stamps. I want an all over one. Well, I guess we're going to be using, oh, this one's good. The folk stamp. Is this one still, do we still have the folk stamp? It's a good all over. It's got like birds and stuff.
I haven't heard that it's been retired.
I never know. Tammy wants to know if I'm going to be in the store later today. No, we are going to be, I think I grabbed the wrong color.
We got to finish tomorrow's video, at least
then we're going
filming
back
it,
up the
and then
mountain.
we're going back up the mountain. Tomorrow's the last day, so we got this evening and tomorrow.
The boys have football, but Odelia will bring Jack up to us so that way he can go hunting in the morning. Well, we'll probably be hunting all day tomorrow because it's the last day of the hunt tomorrow. And yes, Jack does have school. It's fine. Jack is a straight A student, and he can miss a little bit of school and get caught up. In fact, today he's going to get all of his work that he's missed. All right. I just want to make sure I'm inking this. There we go. So he hasn't missed a little bit of school for some nature. Let's get the side stamped. We need to make a family book of all of our memories. We should. We might just do like a video of us doing it because that's what we do. All right. I don't think that worked as well as I wanted it to. Should I have done it?
You missed. So this is high, so you didn't push hard there.
Okay.
This does take a hot minute to paint all these little slats.
Oh, it just came right off.
You got lucky. Now you're going to get extra chipping.
Yay me. All right, I'll try it again. Maybe instead of setting it down on there, I'll push it down.
Yeah, you gotta push like each individual element because that's not completely flat. Because some of these last pieces are just a hair longer over the side.
Like my arms aren't long enough, so I want to. There we go. I want to come from the top.
So a lot of people ask us how dark anvil is. I would say it's like a very, very dark charcoal color, but you can see it on this lathe. It looks very black.
Let's see that. Boop.
Oh, look at that good chipping you're getting on the back.
I know, because I got it wet again. Oh, careful. I don't want to. I'm going to have to heat gun that. So I don't want it to smear. How many children are in our families? I am the youngest of 4 girls, and I was raised like an only child because my sister closest in age to me is 15 years older than me, and then 20 years, and then 24 years. So I was pretty much just me and my mom and my dad. How many siblings are in your family?
Oh, I'm the oldest of 6, 3 boys, and then 3 girls. My youngest sister is 32. We're gonna be 32. Her birthday's this month, like in a few days.
Just getting this ink to dry.
But
yeah, 3 boys, 3 girls in Zeb's family, and only girls. I have 3 sisters, and my dad had 4 sisters. So he was the only boy. So my dad always says he wouldn't have known what to do with a boy because he never had brothers and he only had sisters. But I think he would have figured it out. He does love all of his son-in-laws and his grandsons. Although I feel like he had a little bit of a struggle with boy. Like my oldest son was kind of strong-willed, actually much like my dad. I feel like he had a little bit of a struggle.
If anything, I would say the reason they sometimes butted heads is because they were like the same person a lot of times.
I never thought, well, I thought I was going to have 12 kids. And then as I got older, I never thought.
When we first got married, Jamie had it in her head, 12 kids. And I was like, all right, okay. I was not raised like an only child, and 12 kids is a lot.
Yeah. There we go. We got the other side done. And then once I had 2, I thought, oh, well, I'll be done with 2 kids. And then we
have a
5.
4-year gap between Eliza and Odelia. We had Harrington and Odelia, and then there's 4 years between Eliza and Odelia.
All right.
But the girls were so sweet. Harrington wasn't crazy. He had bad ear infections the first year of his life until we got in tubes.
Harrington was just very busy and always had something to challenge us with. But now, once I had the 2 girls, and then I had another boy, and then I had another boy, I think that's why I stopped at 5, because the thought of having 4 boys, while they are darling children that I love.
Well, when we were discussing it,
no.
I'm like, I don't really care. Like, you're a great mom. I love all our children. It's fine. I come from a big family of 6 kids. But I did tell her, I'm like, listen, our boys are great. Our girls are angels. But you have a 50-50 shot at getting another boy or another girl. And she's like, I think 5 is great.
Well, and at that time, Zeb was still working and he was gone a lot. And he's like, you're the one that's raising him. And I'm like, yeah.
You're like,
valid.
yes, I am.
Totally valid. And I'm tired. So, and not like 5 kids isn't a lot. But in Utah, like
in Utah, 5 kids is about a medium family.
People that go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the Mormons, whatever you want to call us, we have a lot of children. So 5, to me, 5 is not a lot around here. But if you go anywhere else, especially when we go to England, they're like, you have 5 children. And then when I tell them I have 2 kids in their 20s, they're always just shocked.
So I was talking to a gal. This reminds me of my tire days. I was selling her tires. We were talking back and forth. She was a little older.
Transfer stick.
Her kids were all adults. She had 7 children. She got to talking. She's like, how many kids do you have? I'm like, oh, we have 5. She's like, I feel like 5 is the new 7. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
5 is a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to use Winter Botanist again. If you guys watched
Paint-A-Palooza yesterday. I used this. This one is good. It's
So
just got, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're painting the end of this white because we're going to decoupage over it. And that'll keep the decoupage from getting like the colors getting muddled. If you leave it bright white, your colors will stay true on your decoupage paper. If you want it to be a little different, then you can go ahead and decoupage it whatever color you want to be underneath coming through it, because it will come through the paper when you get it wet a little bit.
Yeah, if you go darker, it gets kind of moody. Jamie, were you a stay-at-home mom? Never.
I mean, you did stay at home, but you always worked.
I've always been a work-from-home mom. So I ran an in-home daycare. For a while, I did mortgages. For a short stint, I worked outside the home doing mortgages, but for many, many years, I did mortgages from home. But when Harrington and Odelia were little, I had to put them in daycare for like a month, and I hated it. And I was like, you know what? And I had a hard time finding anywhere to put them. And I was like, there's definitely a need here for in-home daycare. So I opened one. I hadn't hardly even babysat much beyond my own children. And I was like, I could do that. And I did for 2.5 years.
Actually, you did it like as your main thing for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then it trickled into
Part-time babysitting.
Some people were like, we really just have to have you watch our kid. And so we had a couple kids that were close in the neighborhood that
we watched
that we kept
after that. But my kids just worked right along with me. I feel like being a stay-at-home mom is a great job. I just don't think it's realistic for a lot of families. And I never wanted my children to feel like they couldn't, like they did without, because we had a big family and we couldn't afford on Zeb's income to have any extras. And so I did that. And then I started painting stuff for extras on top of that. And
well, like the girls have dance because you did daycare.
Yes, Jamie Ray Vintage really came as a necessity for extra funds, but my kids have always just worked right alongside me.
Well, and people don't know this, or maybe we haven't mentioned it much. I quit my job in April and we went full time, and Jamie still had her mortgage job and was doing daycare for a couple kids still until like August.
Zeb quit.
So I quit my job first and was self-employed first.
Well, I was self-employed too, but
well, yeah, your side gig was like the whole gig.
I couldn't risk giving up the income. You know, we had 5 kids.
She was very nervous about jumping all in and insurance and all the things, but it was working. So we were so busy with custom work that we had to pull the plug on something.
Yeah, well, and I worked for his cousin and did mortgages for her, and they were so busy, they needed us. And so I stayed really to help out because they had been such a good company to me. I wanted to be a good employee to them. They had just really been such a blessing to our family.
Well, you were able to work from home and do like loan processing.
Yeah, it was good money working for them.
And you got paid per loan, so you're like,
I got paid per file.
So you're like, give me more files.
Yeah, and I could work really fast. And I just had a computer down in the playroom, and I could be right with the kids working while they were, and I didn't have to talk to customers. And then the babysitting that I did, I just had 2 kids that I babysat forever. And that probably extended way past when it had to, but
into kindergarten.
They wound up being our kids, right? Like Ava came till kindergarten, and then every summer until we moved here to this house, she spent the summers at our house, and she was just one extra kid. We took her everywhere, and it wasn't for the money.
Like her and Eliza were like sisters. She's a year younger than Eliza.
I used to say Eliza babysat Ava, but we used to take her to amusement parks and out to eat, and all the money that we made from babysitting her once we got past needing it for bills, I would just spend doing fun stuff with her and the other kids. So, and we still are friends. In fact, I actually just she's a cheerleader at a local high school not too far from here. And she's a year younger than Eliza, I think, maybe 2 years or 2 grades. And I just bought a discount card from her for her cheer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, Eliza claimed it, the gift card. The reason why I did a lot of odd jobs was because I didn't want to have to put my kids in daycare. And if you have that many kids, I mean, I'd have to be a dang doctor to pay for daycare. But if you get creative, it's good. And that, like Caitlin, who works for us, she works from home.
So she's able to drop her boys off, pick her kids up. She gets all of her work done and more. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And
That's been actually one of the best things. Like she's been able to stay at home and have a pretty flexible schedule. I mean, she's still working, right?
She's
but
always
like
working.
if she's got a doctor's appointment in the middle of the day, she'll just text us and be like, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna be out for a little bit. Or if the boys have something going on, or she does a lot of stuff with the school. She goes on a lot of field trips with her boys.
She's really good at, not as much as since they've gotten older, I don't think, but Kaylin's really good at juggling all the things and making sure that everything gets done and her mama stuff gets done too.
Well, and with the advent of cell phones, you basically have a computer in your pocket.
That is true. All right, here's the other side. So I've used Winter Botanist. Kaylin says she's blessed to have this job. We're blessed to have you. All right, so this box is all the way done, except for I'm going to seal it up with clear wax. Look how cute that is. Okay. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:57. I'm going to do another box.
We got a few more minutes because we were late.
Just making sure. I don't want to get milk paint on my
All right, so white ends, mostly white. I got a couple smears on there with the black paint. What color did you want to go with this? Is that Harvard that you're using?
I have Kent.
Kent.
You can use Kent if you want.
All the blue greens.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do something different on this. Okay, we have been on 51 minutes. Thank you, Kaylin. So I'm thinking
I want to get this to the point where I can
white dry brush on the whole thing because we got a lot of texture, and then I can do something fun on each end. That'll be fast. Is this white?
Yep.
What color?
White linen.
Where's the? There's a jug.
It's got the lid. It's kind of dry because we've been taping that lid on for quite a while, and it's not.
It got chunky on the top,
not
so we
been
couldn't get the
airtight.
lid to stay. Oh yeah, that is thick. All right, that's fine. So let's dry brush this. I'm going to do the inside, which you guys won't be able to really see, but then we'll do the outside, and you'll see the paint going on all the texture. Just know that the lath does have splinters in it. We will sand it a little bit, but
it's going to get a distress.
Well, that all got sanded smooth, but like this one, you don't want to stick your finger in between there and run it.
Oh, yeah, that one that you're just dry brushing?
Yeah. So I'm just taking the white paint, and it's got a lot of good texture, and I'm just dry brushing it. I want more paint than what's getting on there. I'm trying to think, do I want to paint the end a color? I don't think so. Do you need to mix that paint? No, cottage color doesn't need to be mixed. Milk paint,
you need to stir it.
Oh, yeah. But you don't have to mix it up. You do need to stir it like really, really good. The milk paint, you add warm water to. When is my shop open? We are open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6. Saturdays from 10 to 4. We are closed Sunday and Monday. Kind of like almost full coverage, but not quite on the ends. It'll give me a good place for, you're doing decoupage, right?
Yeah.
I think I'll do more transfers. I might do just transfers and not a stamp underneath it. Did you build these boxes? Yes, we did. So if you watch the replay, we got boxes.
So these are just 5x5 squares, and this is 14-inch length on the lat. Actually, it's looking more like 12.
The other thing about dry brushing is it dries very, very quickly. So your project doesn't take quite as long. See a lot of the original wood and texture.
So if you're just joining or joined a little after I said it, because I don't remember when I said it, these will fit a couple of quart jars in these little crate totes. That's
and
the
it's
size
all
I went
scrap.
for.
These are left over from our cabinets. If you didn't have, obviously this plywood is way more expensive than you'd want to do. You could do like 1x or like thinner plywood. You could even just do lath all the way around if
So
you
you
wanted
can
to.
buy lath still at the store.
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
can.
hardware stores carry it if you don't have scraps.
Remodeling a building is a lot of work to get lath.
It's super cheap compared to what we had to do to get this.
Yes. Okay. And dry this, and then I'll get on to some transfers. What is the paint of the month? It is creamy is the most paint of the month. What are your older kids wanting for careers? I don't know, actually. Well, Adelia wants to go into teaching. I do know that.
Yeah, Odelia's got a year of school under her belt before she started her mission. And she's for childhood education is typically what she's been studying for.
Are we adding any handles? Oh, that would be cute. No, but you could.
No, I don't have handles for them, but we could easily
put some.
Throw some on
the top. I'm putting Decor on the side, so I wouldn't want to mess with that. Harrington is currently a chimney sweep. He's talked about being a nurse. He went to school for that for a while. He's also was going to be a game warden because he really likes to do outdoors.
I think he might still lean towards that, but he does need to get his butt back in school, or he's going to be 30 before he knows it and still trying to find a career.
We let our kids do what they do.
But yeah, he's a very hard worker. I don't worry about him at all. He's making like, with tips, he's making like $40, $45 an hour as a chimney sweep.
In Jackson, because it's very expensive to live there. I'm trying to think.
And then he's going to get the winter off from that because they don't go on roofs or sweep chimneys because people are using the fires. He's basically been working all summer to prep the fireplaces for the winter season. And then they don't start again until end of February, March, when people start using them a little less and they're dirty from the winter.
Eliza is a straight A student, but doesn't really have any desire to go to college. She's talked about maybe doing aesthetics, but she might go to school because she might want to be an injector. So I think you need to be a nurse for that. She might go to school for that. I don't know. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I thought for a while I was going to be the first president of the United States. Clearly that's not happening.
First woman president.
What did you want to do? Zeb wanted to go in the military.
I was going to go into the military.
And I was like, that's great, but I don't want to be a military wife. So you should probably not get serious with me. And he decided I was worth getting serious. So he did a lot of different things. I feel like some kids always just know what they want to do, or they go to school and they get it all figured out. Our kids, I think, are just going to take a while, which I'm okay with. We don't pressure our children. They might think that we do, but we don't. This guy is going to get saved because it's not going to fit. Redrick has talked about maybe wanting to be like a plumber, like go to trade school. But I'm like, he's like, you just make a lot of money. I'm like, just make sure it's something you want to do. I could see Jack taking over the family business. But the thing is, we're going to be 50 when he graduates from high school. So
I'm still going to be working.
He's got to get through college, maybe do it. We always tell our kids, like, do a business degree because then it can be a lot of
100% like I tell everybody that. I tell my youth that I teach at church. I'm like, you know, if you don't know like what you love already and you don't have anything that you necessarily want to do per se, I'm like, go to business school. Like get a business degree, business management, something. Because you can use that in everything, whether you're going to run your own business or work for someone else, you can use it. Nothing drives me more crazy. I know so many adults, a lot of my siblings have degrees that they don't even use. They just went to school to get the piece of paper.
I mean, it's something they could use in the future if they needed to fall back on.
I'm like, go to do something that's useful. I'm very passionate about it, if you can't tell. I did not finish college. I went for graphic design. I was thinking it would be fun to go back.
Zeb, can you cover your face so
yeah, I like writing a lot. I was thinking maybe once the kids are gone, I could dabble in some journalism classes. But then I was like, you know what? I already like write pretty well because I love to write if I ever have like free time, which doesn't happen often. But I've found that Chat GPT can catch 90% of my grammatical errors, and I got to go through it. And I'm like, no, actually, I really did mean to say that. That's conversational
Jargon.
So I meant to put that slang in there. Don't mess with it. But other than that, like, I could probably polish it up pretty good without having a degree, just using AI. And I know a lot of people are against AI, but there's a lot of things I think it's very good for.
Well, you're not using it to write the book.
No.
Jeanette Chambers says, I have 4 degrees and I never use any of them. What are your degrees? And I would love to know. That's very interesting to me.
I do have some friends that are, I call them career students, and they just go to school.
But if that's what they love to do.
I got a friend with 2 master's degrees, and he was working on his doctorate. He's not anymore, but.
Seb and I have a lot of interest. I think you guys have pretty much, I mean, we have had a milking cow. We grow a garden. We like to hunt. We like to travel. We've talked about like wanting to develop property or possibly go into like, if we had more like cash that we had access to, buying more land and like vacation rentals, just places where we like to vacation and then rent it out when we're not using it, which would be a lot of time.
Yeah, we can only use it so much. Harrington would love for me to get a rental in Jackson. He's like, I would rent it from you. I'm like, get your own place, buddy. Just save like crazy. You're making a ton of money. Save like crazy. Get yourself a down payment. Get a house.
You know, what did I do with those
In most cases, especially since he's handy, he could do the fixer-upper stuff if he needed to. Real estate, unless you like buy at the top of the market, will always appreciate. I've never known it to not do well.
No, I'm not going to add that there. I thought I had some butterflies.
It's not a quick turnaround. It's not liquid, right? But
I'm just going to leave it. That's good. So this side and that side, look how cute that is. I'm going to do another white dry brush one because that was fast and it's beautiful to see the texture. Like, this is great. There's a lot more effort, but I'm loving the look of this.
The dry brush was really easy. Quick,
Yeah.
do that one while I finish decoupaging this one.
I'm running back. And it's also light and bright, which I like.
Did you have sandpaper out? I kind of got a mess
I got
from
all
my
kinds of things out.
paint on my
What
white.
do I not have out over here? I did use the rest of this anvil, which makes me very happy. I love finishing a container of paint. Okay.
Here, can you swipe some white over the top of that, and I'll just heat gun it real quick. Perfect.
Oh, you're just decoupaging, right?
Yeah. It's just,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it to be full coverage.
Gina has a cosmetology degree, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Applied Technology, and Associate of Culinary.
Nice.
So you can cook and make people beautiful. I mean, I feel like that's very
you
useful.
got some good degrees there.
Those are all things I'm interested in. I like food and.
Maybe that's what we should do. We should go to like culinary school when
Do you want
we're
to
all
go to
done.
Ballymo Culinary School in Ireland, like Ballerina Farms?
That would be fun.
Ballerina Farms went.
I've
to
always
culinary
wanted to
school.
go to Ireland, and we just keep flying over the top.
We have talked about cooking classes. I think once we get into winter time, we're going to have to start dating again. We were dating for a while, but then football season and summer happened and it was just too much. But you're going to have to get me out of the house.
Do you want me to use some of these papers, or what papers?
Whatever you want to use, you could use.
This is very summery.
I feel like you could
leaning
get
into
2
fall.
ends out of the sides of that one there, and that would be very cute. And that one is from our channel membership printables.
Yeah, that one is actually still available. I leave them up for a month or 2 afterwards.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in papers, though, you can go to our website at jamiemarievintage.com, and we have little papers, big papers, rice papers, tissue papers, all different kinds of styles. Oh yeah, down payments here are the same. Like, you have to come up with at least 5% down, and the median house price is like what, $500,000 or something?
I think the median price in Utah is $550 right now.
But you can save. Like, when we bought this house, we didn't have a house, and we had to actually come up with 20% down And we were in our
Because
30s.
we were self-employed,
We were
and we
self-employed.
didn't.
We didn't have verifiable tax
have,
returns
like-
yet because we had just barely started making good money. So we came up with $50,000 we saved from just going like crazy. With
That was
work.
before the COVID boom. We bought it in 2019. Thank goodness,
Yeah.
because we would not have been able to afford it.
But then we didn't have a construction loan, and we paid a couple $100,000, which is a lot out of pocket to do all the renovations and additions. And we just did it as we had money over 18 months. And COVID happened, which we thought was going to turn it into like, well, we had no idea what was going to happen, but our business actually grew, and we were able to use those funds to pay cash for the addition because nobody was going to give us a construction loan. And it was good that we worked our butts off on this house, because then we had a down payment. We had to come up with $100,000 down payment for the shop. We were able to get an equity line from we had tons of equity because we did everything ourselves from this house to buy the shop. And that's just, it's like, but it takes that first leap of faith and hard work to do the first one, and then you just go from there. I think also young people might have to live in a house that's kind of yucky. They want to buy a house.
Fixer upper.
But yes, it is not easy for sure.
I think it is doable though. Like, you just got to really, like, what do you want? If you really want it, I think you can go get it. The American dream is not dead. You might have to work 3 jobs and not sleep for a couple years, but
You can do anything for a short period of time. You can't do it forever. I feel like that's how we were able to do this house and keep the business growing. And there's a lot of things that, like, you guys helped us grow so much, and it was such a blessing to us. I couldn't have worked the amount of work that it took the 2 of us to do this while we were also raising a family and building business could not have continued forever. Like, I never want to work that hard again. By the grace of God, lots of prayer. People are like, how did you do it? We prayed a lot. And amazing employees. Caitlin was awesome working for us. We had great shop employees. I pretty much, when this was going on, I was Zeb's assistant, but I kept the shop going pretty much on my own. Zeb did bare minimum.
I would come and do videos.
Yeah.
But we had to work. We had to get the house built. It still took us 1.5 years.
And then I realized the last 6 months, I was like, if I don't really start cracking the whip and helping him getting things ordered and planning it out, and I'm not a planner, like, we're never going to get this house finished. So we just tag teamed, and it worked. All right. Cheryl, I like the dry brush over the wood too. I'm like surprised how much I love just the dry brush. Like, it's just so good and simple. Sometimes simple is the best.
All right, really quick on the decoupage. Liquid patina, which is the crystal version, the crystal clear chandelier. We also have other colored patinas. And people ask what the patina is. This is just basically a liquid sealer. It's also a transfer gel medium. It's a little thicker than like the DIY Big Top, and a lot thicker than the final finishes from Sweet Pickins that we carry. So just know that. And it dries matte. So a lot of times, if you're going to be doing multimedia, you might even want to do a sealer over the top of this, because it's matte, and like if you're going to wax or do things like that, it's still pretty porous compared to like a gloss sealer. That's how you get like the different stages. It's less porous as you go up in gloss.
Should I use the Millet's pages? Because we used part of it yesterday, but I think I've got enough to do 2 ends. Yeah. It's like right in the middle. Perfect.
Okay. This is decoupaged on. Layer of liquid patina underneath, layer on top. We'll let it dry, and then it'll get sanded. It'll get sanded because we're going to distress it. Doesn't need sanded. If you don't want to do that step, you don't have to.
I can definitely say that our kids sacrificed a lot of time and energy and helped a lot with this. We didn't do it on our own. In fact, I have video footage of Odelia's friend, her best friend, Carly, over here sanding the floors, and Harrington helped do a bunch of stuff. We did pay him.
Before Harrington went to college, the summer between when he graduated and went to college, we got the side of the house, we got the addition framed out, and the roof on and shingled before he left. I was like 3/4 of the way done shingling it the day he drove off to college. I remember because I was on the roof watching him drive away, and Jamie makes fun of me because I was crying up there.
Yeah, he was crying because he missed him. I wasn't making fun of you. It was just
You were teasing me.
You usually think
I don't ever cry. So you
think,
were like down there. You're like, are you crying up there? I'm like, no, I got something in my eye.
usually you think it's the mama crying because the son's going off to college, and I'm like, bye, Harrington. I think sometimes God makes it a little easier for some kids to leave than others, and I'm not filling in the blanks there. While I love my son, he made teenage years interesting. So I was like, see ya, enjoy being 18. I actually wasn't even 18 yet. He was a few days from it.
Yeah.
Off to college he went, and Zeb's up there. It was all right.
Listen,
I went up there and gave you a big hug.
He was such a big help. I paid him. I remember we were like on a deadline to get, he had actually come back from college by then because his wrestling season got canceled, and he wasn't living with us anymore. He's like, I didn't live with you for a while, and that was the best thing ever. Because the thing with Harrington is he's an amazing human, but he does not like rules or boundaries that he does not agree with. And
aren't we all the same way? He's very
but he's like he will push against it so hard, like it's almost
he's
like,
good about doing what he wants.
Yeah. But anyway, we were trying to get the final inspection done so that we could get approved for our refinance that we desperately needed.
He came to help us.
And he came and helped us, and I paid him. I was like, dude, I will pay you $1,000 if you can just drywall the garage out. I bought all the supplies and everything. All he had to do was the labor. And for him, you know, he's an 18-year-old kid. He's like $1,000. He knocked that out in like 4 or 5 days. And it's not the best drywall job, but it passed code, and that's all we needed.
It was snowing, and the inspector, like the loan inspector, said we had to do some like stucco repair on the front, and he's out in the front doing stucco repair and painting it in the
Harrington
snow.
was painting it
We
in the
were going to
snow.
redo it, so I didn't want to mess with that, but we had to get our loan. Oh my gosh, those times it's like crazy. It seems so far away, like, but it wasn't that long ago. Seems like an eternity.
Yeah, it's almost been 5 years. In January, we moved in here in 5 years. It'll have been 5 years. And the dogs just turned 4. The vet emailed me to let me know they were having their birthday.
Happy birthday to the puppies. They're rescued, so we don't really
They're
know.
rescues, so it's
Right,
relative. But they were both puppies when we took them to the vet for the first time. They're like, well, we think Cody's probably a couple weeks older than Rex, just based off of his teeth. But they're both about 12 weeks old when we got them. So, and we got them in December. And so October is when the dog's birthdays happen.
Harrington is my maiden name. It was actually Zeb's idea because I actually was really sad to give up my maiden name because my dad didn't have any sons, and I just really liked it. And I didn't. And so when we found I was pregnant, before we even knew I was having a boy, Zeb's like, if we have a boy, we should name him Harrington. And people thought it was so weird, but now it's actually fairly common for boys to be named their mother's maiden name. But at that time, nobody did it, and everybody thought we were weird. But I like it.
I'm going to go put this out in the sun. It might get dry. We're going a little long here, Caitlin, if you got to take off or if you already have.
Oh, she's still there.
Okay. But got the flowers on this side. This is one A4 size rice paper. This was a 5-inch square. 5-inch square, covered them both great. And we'll just stress the sides up. It may not dry enough for me to like completely finish it in this video because we do got to go.
Lisa says she loves that.
Mostly on time.
I think that we're good.
And that's the difference between like the decoupage and the transfer. Like that's like individual pieces that Jamie's putting on, and she could just use them one at a time. This covers the whole thing, just with some.
You could cut it out.
Liquid patina, plop it on there, liquid patina, and that's all the harder it is once you have it cut to size.
Do you want to just clean this up and let's show them?
Yeah, show
all
them
of our stuff.
We should leave one just plain. Where I guess the ends need.
I finished them all.
Okay, the ends are kind of weird because they're plywood.
I finished all the ones that you stapled together. So we might.
Yeah, 5x5 on the plywood ends. That's all. I mean, just scrap plywood from building the cabinets. And then this lath here is just strips of wood. You could use whatever you wanted. But this is like perfect size for these slats. Just 12 inches long, I think. I thought I cut them 14, but they're not looking 14 inches. Oh, only 10. There you have it. Not even 12. I knew they looked short. I just set the fence on the table saw and just ran them all through real quick. All right, I need to pick up.
Usually that's my job. Well, you finish your project, but my project's going long. Well, I guess I did 3 boxes, but you also were building boxes.
Yep.
Our powers combined. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just going to use clear wax over the top of my transfers, nothing crazy. I will lightly sand these just to remove some of the obvious splinters, but
Okay. Grab your boxes. I think we can show them.
Careful
I think it's
putting
time for
anything-
some new drop
I'm going to
cloths.
put this here as not to accidentally get paint on anything where we don't want it. So we did a few different techniques here. We've got a dry brush. We got layered paint with the cottage color milk paint over the top. And then we did mixed media here with stamping and transfers. And then we've got decoupage and then just transfers with a dry brush. I think they all turned out pretty fantastic. We will get them all listed here probably within about an hour.
I honestly don't think I'm going to build those other two. Maybe we can just sell a kit.
Or I don't think so. I think we should just save the pieces.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like taking all the nails out right now. So don't be offering, don't be telling people we're doing kits.
Well, if you see them, you see them.
If you don't, you don't. We might save them for something else or make some more.
I just have tons of scrap wood. It'd be easy for Redrick to go cut those.
That's true.
All right.
All right, guys. If you like this video, be sure to hit that share button, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to Jamie Raven just for more
DIY
and thrifting. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.